Hey guys, it's a Whiffy here at Blue Unicorn Gaming. Over the past few days, there's been a lot of concern about Google Stadia. Some of that concern is justified. Some of that concern is not. Stadia had recently closed down their Stadia Games Entertainment division, including all game studios. And I get a lot of people are worried. A lot of people are concerned about the future of Stadia because of it. Google does have a track record for a reason when it comes to just discontinuing things. Look at the Google Graveyard website, it is enormous. And take it from me, I'm a big Google skeptic. I'm not a fan of Google in any manner at all. In fact, when it comes to Google, I tend to stay away. I haven't used Gmail until I got my new phone 2-3 months ago. I hadn't used a Google Android phone for a long time because I just don't trust Google. But I want you to think of something with Stadia. How many times has Google just up and removed the project? Now, how many times has Google up and removed the project and given you notice like this about a studio closing? If they were going to get rid of a project, they would go full bore. Just completely remove the project now, tell everyone Stadia is dead in a year or however long they decide to do it, and move on. In this case, that is not what's happening whatsoever. Google Stadia is staying, and it is becoming something different. Instead of Google Stadia being a developer and a platform, they are going the smart route and becoming just a platform for video games. For one, there's more money in just being a platform. If you need me to cite an example to you, look at Steam. Yes, I know, we have Half-Life, we have Dota, we have CSGO, and Team Fortress 2. But Steam doesn't really do much as far as video games go anymore. They don't really do a whole lot outside of being a platform to distribute games from. That's what Stadia is going to end up being, is the platform to distribute and allow you to play games on their system. And depending on the game, it'll be in a very high fidelity. Division 2 is a prime example of how good Stadia can look with 4K 60 HDR+. It's a beautiful game. Now, I completely understand the concern that many of you out there have based on how the blog post was written. That blog post was very bad overall. In fact, I'm a very big critic of Google's blog post in this. This post should not have been written this way. It needed to go through PR and sound less corporate. This was one of the most corporate sounding blog post, newsletter, whatever you want to call it, I've read from a company in many years. And I've worked for a lot of companies that have done posts like this that sounded way better to an average person than what Google just did. I also want you guys to think about this. Google Stadia is not exactly massive as far as a footprint goes. Amazon Luma is in the same boat. And I would say to stack this up against the Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo systems, because at the end of the day, these are systems that we'll be using. They are nowhere near as big. It took Microsoft many years to use a studio to start creating first-party games for their platform. And now subsequently Microsoft is buying everything up under the sun. Now Amazon, similar to Google, have decided that they're going to be building their own game studio as well. They even went as far as to create their own engine, Lumberyard. I want you to count how many games have come out from Amazon so far. You don't even need hands. The number is 0. They had Crucible that came out, went back to closed beta, and then was scrapped. They had another game I can't even remember the name of because I never made it out. They have New World, which I'm holding reservation for. The preview left a lot to be desired, but if they do listen, it'll be a pretty good game. There's also John Smedley's sci-fi MMO. I will not be touching that game. And there's talks of the Lord of the Rings Online 2, or whatever they decide to name it, but the new online Lord of the Rings game that Amazon's making. But so far, there's only been one game that has shown potential to come out, and that's New World. Now, if Stadia were to make a game, Stadia was making a game, I should say, it was more of a Stadia exclusive. No other platform will ever have it, it'll only be on Stadia. You'll probably end up spending more making that game than you would if you were to just say publish a game made for Stadia or made for cloud gaming. crossover with Amazon Luma, maybe some other cloud platform to come out in the future, maybe Project X Cloud. If you take a look at New World, it cost Amazon a few $100 million to be making this game. Google's investment in their game studio would not work well for them. Google likes to have a quick return on their buck, and this is not it. Game studios are not fast returns, they are slow burns that will eventually give you your money's worth. Especially if you land a hit. But you're not going to land a hit if you're only making for one platform, a platform that isn't heavily utilized at this point in time either. A lot of the heavy utilization comes down to a few things. In the United States, it is mainly our data cap situation that we have with companies like Comcast, AT&T, Cox Communication, places like that. Now, to wrap all this up for you guys, I truly do believe that Google have made the right choice here, and that getting rid of Stadia's development division was the right move. Now, I do hope that every single developer and every single person that worked on that team or in that division has a job within Google. I agree with everybody. Losing jobs, especially in this time of their life with a pandemic going on, is a terrible thing. And I agree that this PR blog post was written terribly. What I don't agree with is the massive levels of toxicity, both on Twitter and in the Stadia subreddit, as well as to other creators, actually. If you look at a few other creators, Sunny Cloud Gaming, for example, there are a lot of really negative views to him because he covers Stadia heavily. That's not cool. We are a community of gamers, regardless of what system we play on. We all like to play our games the way we want to play our games, and we should be able to play them in any way we want, whether it be on Xbox, PS4, a PC, a cloud system, or a cloud platform like Google Stadia. I will continue to be supporting Stadia myself, using it with things like Ubisoft Plus, which is a fantastic tool for me to sit down and play Assassin's Creed Valhalla on my PC, and then go downstairs and play it on my TV without missing a beat. And I suggested everybody else check out Stadia. Give it a try. Let me know if you think that it's bad enough that they're going to close it, because I have a feeling you're going to find that it is not, and that they are not either. Now, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this, what you guys have to say about Stadia. Give them time to settle down and think about everything that's going on with it. Do you think Stadia is actually done? Or do you think Stadia is just switching gears like I do? Please let me know down below in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to start a dialogue about this. And if you like this content and you want to hear more about it, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. That way you know when my next video comes live. And that's all for today, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. And remember, stay safe, have fun, and keep on gaming.